Right, so driveway installs of a MetalCloak Long Arm Kit.
I want hands by the case, Lord. Get the millions and lay low. Take my what I'm gonna wait for. Put my bros on the payroll. Out of sight, out of mind, out my way. Out of sight, out of mind, out my way. Out of sight, out of mind, out my way.
So I'm probably going to do this in two bits. Gonna probably just do the suspension and all the components, there's coils, all the add-on components, and before I do the long arm part of it, and I just want to see what the ride is like, everything like that. So technically I should get the same travel as what I would get out of the long arm kits using this, because it's got the same. The shocks are pretty much the limiting factor on the JLs and JTs. But what the long arm kits give you is a more consistent arc in the suspension travel. So when you're out rock crawling and approaching ledges and you come into it and you put a wheel into it, that might be at full droop, and as you drive up into it, they will cycle higher, and with a normal kit that means it's going to come from an arc and it's going to slowly push out as you're driving into it. So with the long arm kit, as you go into it, it should stay fairly flat, so it won't be pushing into the wall as you're trying to climb it. So yeah, so that's some of the advantages of going to the long arm kit. Rides a bit smoother at higher speeds and things like that as well. But yeah, anyway, let's get this into it. I'll start on the front end and see if we can do the back end. Wheels off. I think I'm going to replace shocks, mounts, lower shock mounts, have an adjustment for that. Sway bar links. Replace the track bar, place the drag link, coils, yeah, and then eventually control arms and placing mounts. So part of the front end kit is they have these lower mounts, shock mounts for it, which give you a bit more travel and position the bottom mount. So it rotates, so it pivots sideways with how the suspension would pivot rather than the other way around. But I'll open this kit up and show you what I mean.
Apologies in advance, this video was filmed over the course of like a few weekends just by Dad himself, so it will be a little bit here, there, ever and a bit choppy all over the place, but let's bear with it. Try to go into as much detail about this kit as possible.
So that goes in here, and will mount where that shock goes, and then the bottom shock mount will mount off. The bottom shock mount will mount off here, which gives it a little bit more travel, and like I said, it changes the pivot point, so it's not as harsh on the bushing, but we'll show you that. Yeah, so most kits, what they do is they take the rear sway bar mount and using the front, which is what I have on my current kit. But yep, MetalCloak, I've got some new extended mounts. So these are a fair bit longer than the rear mounts even. So yeah, so I'll put those in. Yeah, so hopefully this will show you the difference the long arms make to the standard when you start increasing the travel. You can see the arc of the diff becomes very pronounced. So with the long arms, it should change the arc to be more straight up and down. Alright, pull the rear coils out. So easy things. Pull the track bar, sway bar links, loosen this brake lines up. If you've got the original locker still, you disconnect that. Disconnect the parking brake. So you're going to run it under that support cross member. pull coils. Right, so not a fair comparison to stock, because these are my lifted springs I had, and actually had a spacer on it as well to get me a bit of height in the rear. So this is the MetalCloak dual rates. So you can see they run a tighter coil at the top, compresses first, and the second compression sort of kicks in instead of needing the spacer, and it's probably a little bit, obviously without the spacer, a bit of extra height. With the spacer, still a bit of extra height. So yeah, always better to try to run without spacers because the coil can bind pretty quick. This one's was touching a bit, but they're sort of, the Jeep ones are designed to touch. They just change the rate as they touch. So that's what happens here. So as these coils touch, the rate changes on the coil, because as they touch, it means the coil technically becomes shorter, and then they become a bit stiffer. So yeah. Alright, so again, not a fair comparison because I had lifted coils in, but so these are the Fox springs. So they got about the same compression, maybe a little bit shorter. That's a little bit longer on this extension. Yeah, the Fox are probably an inch longer, and then if I had the red shocks, which are like their factory shocks that the MetalCloak kit comes with, it's probably an inch longer again. So yeah, so I think I'll be seeing about replacing these. Plan is to get these long arm kits installed today. Hopefully the rears to start with, because some of the bushes are pretty stuffed, my rear arms. Then hopefully get the fronts. So yeah, we'll unbox these suckers. These are lowers. No, uppers. And the lowers. Bloody hell, they're thick. Yeah, very thick. Alright, these are for all the rear mounts. Nice. As you can see, they mean the arms get a bit nice and long, as we saw before. The original bottom new bottom arm bracket. The original top arm, upper arm there, up here now. Yeah, lose some clearance, but not a lot. So rock should come along up onto the bracket, then follow the arm across to the lower mount. You might end up dragging rocks, and they're thick enough, they'll take the punishment. There you go, lower control arms compared. So the old arm's probably about half the length, the new arm. Nice. The upper control arm's like longer than the lower control arm. Alright, installed. Right, front and rear track bar. Oop, going the wrong way. Front and rear track bar. Front, rear. Yeah, they use these Dura something, I don't know, bushing or whatever it is. So they actually screw together, but they can move, easy to replace. So we'll see how they go. I don't have much luck with track bars. I tend to flog out. The bushes flog out pretty quickly. All the sideway movements and hits and stuff. So see, these ones last a bit longer. So track bar in. The track bar in. Yeah, these mounts a lot firmer. Pretty good. Pretty happy with that. The old track bar had a bit of still had a bit of movement in the bushes, even though they were new bushes that I can't feel anymore, which is great. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Still working on things, but today the cross member. This is the main cross member below the transfer case gearbox, back of the engine. So the factory one, which is actually all aluminium, quite light. The MetalCloak one, which is all steel, quite thick steel. Comes with all the mount holes for the long arm kit and all mounting points. All the mounting points for MetalCloak's underbody armour as well, and maybe other ones might pick it up. I haven't decided what I'm doing my underbody armour at the moment. It's all off. I do need something because I have had some tags on the transition pan, and the transfer case is a bit susceptible to damage, so we'll sort something out of that as well. But these are on today. Right, getting ready to put the control arms in. Lower, upper. The upper control arm about the same length as the lower control arm now. And yeah, again, very thick. Well, it's been a couple of weeks, so I'm keen to get out and have a quick test to make sure everything's starting to work right on the new setup. So on the highway, cruising along, 100 kilometers an hour. So far so good. Did some street driving as well for the last couple of days, and yeah, it's the car's a lot smoother. When it takes bumps and so forth, I can hit bumps a bit quicker too. So but yeah, at the glass house, have a couple of flex runs. I just want to make sure I'm hitting bump stops right and things like that. I've got them set up right, because then hopefully, yeah, we'll be at the Springs this weekend, so that's a bit of a trial by fire, and Black Duck weekend after. So yeah, so I'll make sure things are working. Yeah, so on the highway, 110. It's pretty windy outside. My car is driving, yeah, fine. So just coming past the truck, so blowing me around a little bit there. Otherwise, tracking okay. Yeah, good at it so far. Coming on to back roads, high speed back roads with a bit rough. German Woodford Road, if you know it, you know what I mean. So let's see how she goes. Definitely smooth the ride, hating the bumps much better. I did have it set up for a wee without the front long arms, and it was a much harsher ride on road, just because the suspension's got to travel forward as it comes up. Just makes the ride a bit stiffer. So far, yeah, loving how it's handling it. The combination of the shocks. I think these Fox shocks are definitely a little bit softer than the shocks I had on previously. Coming up dirt section. I think they've had the graders through here recently, so it's probably going to be not as rough as it normally is. People who know this road know there can be some big hidden bumps every now and then, washboards and so forth. Still on road type. Pressure obviously 30 psi. I think I normally run 32. Yeah, I definitely have to go ahead through here. Oh, that's nice. So, try to shoot some bigger pumps now. All the harshness has gone out of the car. I used to hate driving on this. I used to, at the end of the day, I'd make sure I was running that tyres end down. Right, this is bumpier again. It's the parallel track to the South Power Line track, so 70 kilometres an hour. Kept road pressures. Riding really nice. Oh, nice. Oh, didn't even worry it. Loving it. Right, so this isn't flexed out yet. I don't have the tyre off the ground there, but I need to put more pressure on it. I haven't hit none of my bump stops are on yet. Bump stop and touching in on that side. Bump stop isn't touching yet, but the coil is touching the so I'm going to have to adjust that. This side is flexed out. Right, so I'm pretty sure that rear is definitely flexed out there. Let's see if we're on our bump stops. This side. Yep, good. On the bump stop. On the bump stop. Still some room in the shock. Press that a bit more. Rear tyres. Just in the front. Might actually shift that axle back a bit. I'm sure that front is definitely maxed out. I think I'm just touching the bump stop there. The coil's definitely all touching. Right, not too bad. I got to do. I think the rear sway bar is probably the only problem at the moment. I think it's shifted a little bit too far one side, and it's not. It's getting stuck before the suspension's fully compressed. I need to sort that, and maybe a little bit more front bump stop, just to protect those front shocks on the hard hits. But yeah, pretty happy with that.
Oh my God, at the top, see the top, I'm on top. See the guap, get the guap, that's a lot. Hit the gas, need no brakes, I don't stop. Yeah, oh my God, at the top, see the top, I'm on top. See the guap, get the guap, that's a lot. Hit the gas, need no brakes, I don't stop. Yeah, oh my God, with the squad, see the squad, we outside. Coming from the soil like a.
Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Something a little bit different, away from wheeling for once. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, have a look at all the other videos showing the kit to be able to see it in action. And look forward to the next episode.
But it's still the same ones in the frame, nothing changed. Yeah, at the top.